Hi everybody, hope you're well. Sorry for the bit of a bedraggled look. I've trundled around the streets of Horwich around 14 kilometres today. Quite nice. Should be about 6 stone wet through by the time I'm done. We have another leaflet for you. I know you can't wait. I've been getting messages saying when's the next one coming out. This is the latest edition of the Out of Touch magazine for Horwich and Blackrod ward by the Conservatives. Oh boy, have we got a doozy for you today. Okay, so shall we start? This is it. So we'll start at the phone. My plan for Horwich and Blackrod. But there's no plan. It's all the stuff that's happened already. So what exactly? This is all the stuff that's happened, and I'll go through it all in a minute, but there's actually no plan. She says it's her plan, but there is none. Okay, let's run through it. 50 million transport levelling up bid to ease congestion in Horwich and Blackrod. Well, that's an interesting one. It's a bid, which means it's not guaranteed. I hope it goes through. But it will actually improve the roads of West Horton and Horwich. In fact, there was going to be a discussion about it at Blackrod Town Council meeting last night. But unfortunately, Councillor Price, who was going to bring this motion, was unwell. But Blackrod have actually been completely missed out of this bid. We have been assured that the next bid that Bolton managed to get through, assuming they get through the PDF through, without it bouncing back, will include an A6 improvement. We'll see though, because that was on our plans. But ultimately, the 50 million doesn't include Blackrod. 4 million investment in Horwich Town Centre and Blackrod Town Centre. Again, this £100 million the 4 million was from the £100 million that the Labour group originally wanted just for Bolton. We've had this discussion. And the rise of the independent parties panicked them into releasing some funds into the local groups. Nothing whatsoever to do with the Conservatives. Protection of our green belt with green spaces with adoption of places for everybody. It's not been adopted yet, but it's basically the rehashed version of the Greater Manchester Spatial Framework. When it comes to green spaces, we'll be releasing a leaflet on that soon, and she ain't so green. But we'll leave that one for you. This one irritates me, and if you are a Blackrodder, this should too. Local plan building on Blackrod neighbourhood plan to protect us from planning inspector. She has no right to put this in here. The Conservatives, Susan Baines, not even us, had anything to do with Blackrod's neighbourhood plan. It was the neighbourhood plan steering group led by your very own town councillor, Alan Berry. I mentioned him yesterday. He's an excellent town councillor, which is why it irritated me that Labour had seemed to forget that he was a Labour councillor. Disgusted, she's jumping on, trying to get political capital on the back of something she had nothing to do, but she does it again later on. I'll go through. Back our new 5 million health centre for Horwich. Well, no, it's not. It's a health centre, but it's the NHS's health centre. It's nothing to do with the Conservatives again. £500,000 invested in Blackrod's local roads, with more to come. Sorry, Susan, it was 600,000, not 500,000, thanks to the local groups. So again, you can't even get your figures right. Then she goes over taking the fight against crime to the criminals. That's a national issue. Nothing to do with you, Susan. Nothing to do with the Conservatives. More police officers already recruited. Is that after the 20,000 police officers you cut? 20,000 soldiers? 10,000 airmen, 10,000 seamen. You've recruited a handful more. Not you. That would have been nationally, or the Mayor of Greater Manchester, depending on how much he wants to spend of our council tax. Opening of the suite of Bolton, the custody suite in Bolton to house arrested suspects. That was a great move. Nothing to do with the Conservatives. It was Greater Manchester Police. Under the new inspector. Double the number of arrests and the number of searches. Well, you couldn't have got much worse, to be honest. The policing was shocking. But again, Greater Manchester Police, nothing to do with the Conservatives. Surge activity days planned, in multiple forces involved. Again, nothing to do with the Conservatives or Susan Bairns. But there's nothing in there whatsoever that says it's her plan. What's your plan? They've stuck it to us, well, they've tried to stick it to us a little bit. Leader of Horwich and Blackrod First joins local Conservatives. This is a Conservative Horwich and Blackrod leaflet. Our former leader was Horwich North East. Completely different ward to this one. But they think they've got some sort of coup by going, look what we've done. People change. People move. We've moved on. Not a big thing. Horwich and Blackrod. Oh, then some more pretty pictures. They like their pretty pictures. And there's one in here. And I'm going to say this again to the neighbourhood plan. You may want to have a word with her. So, Councillor Susan Bairns says, for the first time in a generation, Bolton Conservatives offer a real alternative to Labour, who've controlled our town for nearly 40 years. Yeah, they did. 40 years. It took them 40 years for them to lose our trust. It's taken you 40 months. Now you are doing things behind closed doors, secret meetings, admitted by Martin Cox. And there's a few pretty pictures. The one I want to point out, though, is this one. She's planting a tree at the community orchard in Blackrod. A lot of us were there. A lot of councillors were there doing things. We were asked not to politicise it, which is why it isn't on any of our pages. We were asked not to. She's taken a picture, and what's really irritating, she turned up for 5 minutes. As you can see, she's dressed up in her Sunday bests. She turned up for 5 minutes, picked a shovel up, spoke to somebody, had a photograph taken, and then left. Everybody else was there for half a morning, all day in terms of Alan Berry. So again, that's a Blackrod neighbourhood plan thing. They wanted to build several orchards, and the community came together, all members of the community, to plant these. I'm not going to big it up for anybody else, but whoever was there politically was asked not to politicise it, and she's just politicised it. So look at, ask yourself, where's the integrity? Ultimately, it does nothing. Does nothing. You've seen your list of candidates that are out. There's a number of paper candidates. The Lib Dems have got Kev Walsh again from Harper Green. You've got Karen Millington from West Horton. At least she's had the decency to put her address on there. The Green Party, never heard of them. Then you've got, of course, Councillor Baines and Sam Williamson, who you've seen bobbing about, local businesswoman, local to the area, absolute bundle of joy, and will keep us all in check, I assure you. Thank you very much for listening. Hope you've enjoyed it. Speak soon. Goodbye.